Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing? And thanks to everyone for coming in. I appreciate everyone. Hello, guys. I'm just waiting here for a few minutes so that I could, just so we could get a couple of folks in the house. All right, so they'll be just waiting on a couple of folks to be here. Yes, yes. Hopefully everybody's day is okay. Hopefully everybody's day is good. And just as I mentioned, guys, I'm just waiting for some folks to come in so I could share this or less. Hello, African TV, African News TV. How are you, my brother? How are you? How are you? How are you, my brother? I'm just waiting for a few folks to come in, my brother, just so I could get going here. But we'll be talking about how to improve financial literacy. With regards to of course financing. Yes. How's everything with you? How's everything going with you? Yes. Hopefully everything's going great. Yes. Yes, yes, I could hear that. I could hear that. Definitely, definitely. Yes, my brother. So I'm gonna, I'm gonna start. Hopefully, some of these folks come in and they come to join. But welcome, definitely welcome. If you could help me share this LS out, my brother, I would definitely appreciate it. Definitely, definitely would. And thank you so much for being here with me. Yes, thank you. So, like I said, I'm gonna start this out. You know, uh, I'm gonna just start it out and get it going. And you know, because as folks come in, they'll be coming in to join us. Then we could pick it up from there. You know, but I'm gonna just let this Ellis go because let me see, it's been about 4 minutes now since I started it. So everybody, welcome, welcome. As you guys know, I am Jean Jacquet, and I am in the real estate, insurance, and finance industry. And thanks to everybody that's here, and thanks to everybody that's gonna come and listen, and thanks to everyone as well that's gonna be sharing this out and helping me to share it out. I appreciate every single one of you guys. I appreciate everyone that's here and everyone that's gonna watch later on. I definitely appreciate every single person. Thanks to everyone. Thanks to everyone. Hey, Marlon Haitian, thank you, brother. Thank you for coming. Edim Batagil for me, Edim Batagili for me, Pam. Thank you, guys. So yes, family. So what I'll be discussing today is as I mentioned, how to improve financial literacy. And as you guys know, financial literacy is something that most folks don't get, especially Americans. Americans, there's a big crisis as far as financial literacy as far as our personal finance. Most folks understand some things, but okay, brother. Okay, brother. Merci un from him. Yes, financial literacy is something that's definitely big. It's so big that it's not even a joke. So in recent studies, guys, and this is real. In recent studies, that it shows that a continuous of Americans, throughout the country, they scored less than 60%, and when it comes to financial literacy, meaning that they really don't know or really don't understand really in depth what exactly is financial, their personal finance. When it comes to personal finance, oh man, why is my brother? I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Let me get my brother here. Oh man, hold on. I gotta get my brother here and blue. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I was wondering why is this. Yes, give me 1 second here, families. So yes, there's a thing with that. Too many. There's a lot of folks that really doesn't understand personal finance. They don't. They really don't get their own personal finance. So that creates a serious situation, because if you don't understand your own personal finance, and how is it that your kids will be able to understand personal finance when it comes to real life? Yes. Okay. Good. African news. I'm sorry, my brother. I just realized I was like, why is my brother is not in blue? I am so sorry. Yes, I apologize. Yes. So I apologize, brother. I definitely, I apologize about that. So yes, families, Messi Molly from him. So that's the number one thing is number one, to understand personal finance. All right, guys. Personal finance is something that everybody, most folks, they try to understand it into going through. Let's just say going through online studying and so many different methods and so many different things. But today we're gonna go to a couple of different steps, into explaining how to avoid going into hardship when it comes to understanding personal finance. The first thing we're going to talk about, fellow families, is families and friends, is discussing money in your household. And then number two, we're going to talk about personal finance at school. And after that, we're going to talk about identifying the unreliable sources of information. And then from there, we're going to go into understanding the danger of free financial contents. And after that, we're going to jump into, jumping over real and imaginary hurdles when it comes to financial success. And then we're going to go and dive into knowing who or what have your back when it comes to making decisions into financial situations. And then we're gonna wrap it up with developing good financial habits. So those are a couple of things we're gonna go and talk about. We're gonna get into, and we're gonna, if you guys have any questions in the meantime, hey Deidre, what's going on, family? What's going on, brother? Kijon your family pa mwen. Merci et mba mbeze mwen do pou parce mde akon wap bon mwen li. Mwen djou grand merci family mwen. Ça fait un plaisir ou là dans ka lave mwen. Guys, Deidre is a monetized so if you guys go visit him, please let his commercials play, so that because we all know that's how we get paid on YouTube when it comes to ads and advertising. You know what I mean? There's no secret about it. That's just facts and reality. That's how we get paid. So please let his commercials go. African News TV is a brother of mine as well. He's also monetized. He's been helping me out a lot. He's been doing great things, helping his brother out. And if you go to his page, please, guys, let his commercial play. And also, he still go live, and he have a huge house. He have a huge and big house. So if you guys, want to grow, want to meet new people, please go and be friends and become family with my family, my dear brother, African News TV. So yes, guys. So that's one of the things that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about how to improve into our financial literacy. All right. So now, we're gonna get going with regards to that. So like I said, we're gonna discuss our first discussing money into the household, discussing money into your home, discussing money around your children, discuss you and your wife or your spouse, whoever, husband and wives, husband, whatever is going on. I'm not into all that right now, but right now we're gonna talk about discussing that situation around your kids in the household, getting them to understand what's the situation or what's happening. If anybody have any kind of questions, definitely let me know. Let me know what's going on, what's the situation, what's happening, so that we could definitely tackle it down and we could answer those questions. All right. So yes, family. Now, when it comes to improving your financial literacy, it has to start with personal finance, deep down. Uh, Hey, Content Flag, how are you? How are you? How are you, family? How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, let's definitely network. Let's definitely network. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Thank you. If you could help me share this LS out, I would definitely appreciate it. Definitely would appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here, family. So yes, so when it comes to personal finance, families, listen, we have to start with teaching our children. We have to start with teaching our children on how to deal with money, how to talk about money, and it is okay to talk about money. Because I'm gonna tell you, most folks they are devastated and definitely afraid of talking about money with their children. When it comes to talking about money in front of their children, they are so afraid about that. And they don't want to talk about money with their in front of their children, and that's one of the mistake, because your kids growing up thinking that everything is fine, everything is okay, not realizing that you know there's a cost to doing business in real life. Like for an example, some folks will be afraid to tell the kids, well, we have to work to earn money, or there's no Santa Claus, such things like that. We have to work so we could get money so that you'll be able to get toys. We have to work to be able so that you'll be able to go to the mall and do all these other great things. But instead of that, what they'll tell the kids is, if you be good, if you be good, then I'll take you out because I have the money. But they haven't gotten down into the nitty gritty on how they got that money, how they made that money, how that actually works. The other thing is, parents does is they don't let their kids know about how to let their money work for them. So instead of what they'll do is they'll keep giving the kids, giving the kids, and instead of that, Marley Pierre, yes, what's going on? All right, yes, yes, yes. So instead of that, what should be done is saying, okay, you know what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna teach you how to make money. I'm not gonna give you the money. You're gonna have to earn it. And that's the one thing. Most folks, excuse me, most folks doesn't teach their kids that. Instead of that, they'll give their kids everything. And truthfully, I don't agree in that theory. And there's nothing wrong with helping your kids and to spoiling them a little bit and letting them see a great life. There's nothing wrong with that. But however, family, listen, to let your kids go around thinking that life is just an easy process and it's just wonderful and lovely and wonderful. Naomi, welcome, welcome, welcome. Merci pour pouslan. Ou la kayo Naomi, ou la kayo, si gen moun nou pa ou gen, pase pre yo famille, pase pre yo. So, sujet, ça va parler sur lui, son sujet de pour improver, qui pour ou improver et financier. Vous comprenez? So, yes, Naomi, so that's what we're talking about right now. So yes, guys. So that's the one thing, right? You can't give your kids everything because they have to understand. They have to know in real life, nothing's gonna be giving. Everything's gonna be there's gonna be a give and take into things. So that's the one thing about that. Most parents does not do that. So that's the one thing about that. So the second thing is school. What's going on with our school system into teaching our kids. A lot of times, parents doesn't realize it, or whether they do or don't. Your kids spend a vast majority of time at school. So therefore, they learn a lot from their school. That's where they learn how to be social. How to play with other kids, how to start coping with some life crisis, some life complications, and things in that nature. So they learn a lot from school. So with that, is our school systems teaching the kids, the children, about personal finance, so that when they when they're done with school and entering into the real life, so that they know how to cope with things. So let me reframe that a little bit. So okay, now I'm gonna take it a little bit deeper. Is the school system, is the teachers or the professors even qualified into explaining that, meaning that, here's why I'm saying that, you know if the teachers or the professors don't understand personal finance themselves, how could they teach our kids? So that being said, there's a huge component that's locked when it comes to personal finance, because not only that, the children is not being taught personal finance, so there's a lack of understanding and a lack of knowledge when it comes to handling their personal finances, because now it becomes a thing of, okay, we're dealing with personal finance, but we don't know anything about that. How come nobody ever taught us about personal finance, or even explained to us what we're about to encounter when it comes to real life with dealing with personal finances? So all these things comes into play, folks. All these things comes into play. It comes to dealing with situations such that. So number one, parents have to talk about personal finances with their kids, so that I help them into understanding personal finance when they grow older. And as for parents, we just have to not be afraid of our kids knowing some of the things that's going on with personal finance, because they're gonna have to deal with it sooner than later. It's better that they start young. At least they might have a better understanding when they get older, and they might be able to deal with it and cope with it a little bit more. So in the school system, definitely there is no personal finance that's being taught in the school system. Reason being, listen, one, you have to understand it to talk about it, and on top of understanding it, you have to be able to deal with it. You have to actually knows about it, to talk about it, to teach it, to help somebody else into dealing with that. So there's a lot that really goes along with that. So it's our school is not teaching things like that. So the other thing is identifying the unreliable sources of information. So when I said that, this is what I mean. A lot of times folks will jump online and they'll read about something, and they'll run from there and try to implement whatever they just read, and they really doesn't have the base ground and foundation about what they just read. So meaning that when when you read something online, the one thing is you got to look at. Yeah, Marlon, no, yeah, Marlon, don't worry, brother. So the one thing is that when you're looking at things like that, right? So here's the thing. So you went online, you read about something, you read about how to save money, or how to deal with money, or whatever the case is. So now when you're looking at it, you're like, okay, so now I just read on how to save money, and I'm gonna go and save money now. So the one thing is, when we're reading these things are designed to geared and stir us into a direction to where we're gonna go and speak to a professional about it. It was never meant for us to read it and for us to go and try to do it. That wasn't the idea behind that. No matter what you're reading online, it's a form of advertisement. And advertisement is meant and built for folks to literally go and to so you could seek outside help with the understanding that you just read something and you have some kind of knowledge about it. You know, So there's that part and that portion of it. Let me see what Marlon is saying. Let me see what Marlon is saying. Boss, Poquito family, pas un problème, pas un problème, pas un problème. Hey Joan Wilson, welcome, welcome, welcome. Bienvenue la caillou, Joan, bienvenue la caillou. Yes, we call you, bienvenue, bienvenue. Yeah, so that's a situation with that, guys. When it comes to understanding your personal finance, it was never meant you go online and read about something, and then the next thing you know, you after you read about it, you go and try to do it. Number one, those things, like I said, they were meant for you to go and seek outside help and deal with a professional, so that that professional will be able to help you into getting things going and getting your savings and whatever that you're trying to do, or give you the better understanding of personal finances. All right, so that's the one thing with that. A lot of times we go and start doing things, and then we reading online, and then we looking at advertising, and then we think we'll be able to do it, but that's not the case. The professional that's in that field, he knows best on how to best help you. For an example, you're looking at something online and you're like, okay, that's what I want, and not knowing that that could actually hurt you. That could be a very devastating situation, because reason being, now you over here trying to do something that you really don't have the knowledge and the ground to do it. So now that's about to backfire a little bit. That's the one thing about that. So by the way, guys, listen, if anybody really likes the content I'm putting out there, please go under the description, and then you're gonna see there is a link there for donation. If anybody wants to support what I'm saying and wants to donate out free will, you are more than welcome to donate at your free will. No pressure, no hassle, no nothing. If you feel that that's something that you want to do, you're more than welcome to do so. And what will that help me to do is to help me to gather some things, so that I'll Diamond TV. Wait, Diamond do TV. How are you? How are you? Yes, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, thank you for coming in. Thank you for being here. Definitely welcome. This is your house. If there's anybody that you're not friends with, definitely connect with them, so that we could grow. We could continuously to grow, so that we could continuously to show love to one another. And thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. So yes, guys, under the description, there is a link that's under there. That's for donation. If you guys feel like donating, what that's gonna do is to help me to start creating different games down the road for you guys. Because I do want to start bringing different games into here, so I could show you guys, how these things actually work, rather than just giving you guys a bunch of information about the whether it's financing, or whether it's about real estate or a health insurance, or whatever that is gonna be. Okay, because I do want to start coming out and give and having different games on here for you guys, so you guys will be able to see it rather than just hear about it. Okay, so that's the one thing. You're not supposed to just go online and just read something, and the next thing you know, you're trying to do it, you're trying to implement it. It just doesn't really work that way. And there's so many traps that lies ahead when it comes to something like that. Oh, give me 1 second, guys. Yeah, so that there's so many traps that comes along when it comes to dealing with stuff like that, guys. There's so many traps that comes along with that. And so you guys are not in the field of of financing, and are not understanding the world of financing. So you read about something, and then you go and trying to do it. The next thing you know, everything that you try to do fall apart. That's the one thing. So always keep in mind, guys. Always keep, when you read about something, yes, it's good to have the knowledge. It's good to have an understanding of what's going on, so that when you're talking to that professional knows exactly on how to help you. So and you also understand the language, you also understand the lingo. But there's a difference of understanding a language and speaking a language and fully understand a language. So that's the one thing with that, because finance within itself, personal finance, whatever that it is. Let me tell you, it's a language. And there is times that folks will say things. They'll say certain acronyms, and you're not familiar with them. And sometimes you'll see things, and you think they the same, and they're really not. But that's understandable because you're not in that financing portion. So that's the one thing with that. So we got to understand how to actually identify these unreliable sources of information and use them for what they are, and not mislead ourselves into dealing with things, into working with things, and not knowing exactly how to cope with them. Because there's all different sorts of information, and they all mean for different things, and they could very much be misleading. Not misleading into the information is bad, misleading as we don't know exactly how it works, so we misled what we wrote. What we read into what it's not is. So that's the one thing with that. We have to be careful with that. The other thing is to understand the danger that lies of free financial content, which falls right along the line of getting free information of online information, and to dealing with that and thinking that we could do exactly what we just read, and it wind up being not so. Because when I say wind up being not so, so now we wind up looking at things and to seeing things in a way of okay, and not fully understanding exactly how it's done. Oh, excuse me, guys. Excuse me. I'm just gonna send this out real quick. All right. Yes. So, and and then we go and not really understanding it. So now we go and trying to do something, and once we try to do it, now it's not working. So that's the one thing with that. Is to understand that these free contents, like I said, they were meant and geared towards to give you, a understanding on how these things work, but they don't give you the full understanding on how these things actually operate. So now once we go and trying to see how these things actually operate and how they work, so now we tend to do something like this, and to saying, oh, you know what, I could do it because now I have some knowledge of it. You know what I mean? So guys, that's the one thing is to be careful about. You have to be extremely and very careful about things like that, because that kind of information you just read, and now you thinking that and you about to you about to do it, you about to fully you understand it. And meanwhile, there's so many loopholes into that. There's so many loopholes. There's so many things that could go wrong with that. And yes, there could be. There's also a chance that it might be pure luck that you do it right. You know, and there's also a greater chance that you might read it and not fully understand it, and wind up it's disasters. So that's the one thing with that. So with that, guys, we have to be extremely careful of when we're getting free contents, and to knowing exactly what we are getting. Oh, excuse me. And to knowing exactly what we are getting, and understanding what we are getting is not, it might not be the full information, might not be the full information. And also to after we're done reading that information, is to go and get help from a professional. And when I mean go get help from a professional, I really mean that, because other than that, we could really mess this up. We could really mess it up, and the next thing you know, everything goes south. And a lot of times, I know folks don't like to lose money. That's the one thing. No one likes to lose money, and no one likes to waste time. So time and money is two things that are precious. We could get money back, but time we cannot get back. So that's the one thing. So family and friends, be very careful, be very leery as far as what's going on, and how to deal with things in that nature, and how to cope with things when it comes to reading information online, and also how to deal with things like that, so that when we see them, that we are not exactly trying to reinvent the wheel when there's no need to reinvent the wheel. So that's one thing that we have to be careful and understanding about when it comes to personal finance. So just as a recap, real quick, we went over into talking about the discussing money into the home, into a household, meaning that you know we should not be afraid to talk about money in front of our kids and letting them know exactly how money works for us, and also explain to them and help them understand that, hey, you know what, personal finance is something that that's very important, and to help them enlighten their portion of understanding as far as how personal finance work and how things actually works in the real life. Then we talked about personal finance at the schools, meaning that schools doesn't really get into or talk or teach personal finance. So that's the one thing. So our kids spend a vast majority of their time in school, and the one thing in school does not teach is personal finance. Not that they are, they don't know how, or there's not a teacher qualified to teach it. It's just that they don't teach it. They don't teach it. I don't know why, but no one really talks about it in the school system. And the other thing is we talk about identify unreliable sources of information, meaning that we need to be careful on when we read things online, when we're looking for information online, on how we interpret it and how things actually is, and what do we take it for, and what does it actually mean when we read it, and what apart from all that, what should we be going to get professional help, or is it that we reading that information in the context of to broaden and sharpen our tools, so when we are speaking to a professional, that we know exactly what's the lingo and what they are saying, so that we can have a full understanding of what's going on into whatever they're going to help us with. So that's the one thing. And apart from that, we also discuss, understanding the danger that lies of free information, which ties up again of getting things online, and actually looking at, what exactly are we looking at, and also understanding, hey, you know what, this is what we got going on, and I understand this is free information, but at the same time, this free information might not be the full package. So after I'm done with this, so now my tools are sharpened, I'm going to take this to a professional and let that professional help me. So those are the things that so far we have talked about, we have discussed, and we mentioned. And now we're going to talk about jumping to real and imaginary hurdles of of financial success. So here's the one thing, right? Even when we are in school, we see our friends. Our friends get a new pair of shoes. So we're like, okay, I want a new pair of shoes. Our friends work 20 hours a week. So we go get a job, a part-time job. So now we work 20 hours a week. And that's the one thing. Birds of a feather kind of flock together. That's the part where folks are saying that. So now the one thing is, so now we start to look at and say, okay, how is this gonna help me? How is this gonna help me to develop? Especially now, you got to start looking at, okay, you know, is this something that I need to be doing, or is it not? Because now we have to separate real and imaginary and the fake stuff. So what's real is, okay, this is reality, that I'm here and I can only afford this because I need to do that. So therefore, I need to keep my A's and B's in order so that I could get to C. But most folks, some folks, let me not say most folks, some folks, what they'll do is they'll see their friends get a brand new car. All of a sudden, there's nothing wrong with their car. They want a brand new car. Your friend just bought new furniture. I'm going to buy new furniture. Why? Because my friend just got it, or this and that just got it. Okay, my friend just did this, so now I'm going to do the same thing. that might not be the best move for you. So you need to stay in reality. Listen, yes, we are friends, but that don't mean that I'm gonna do exactly what you're doing. We are friends in the social content, but when it comes with the financial content, I need to stay real and be true to myself because that's how this is going to help me to be successful on whatever path that I'm doing, or whatever route that I'm going through. That's how I'm going to be successful at that. Because now, if I try to be like you and I don't have the means necessary to do what you're doing, now I'm about to get hurt. How I'm going to get hurt is because now this thing is about to put a major number on me because my income is not matching my expenses. Hello, information. Hello, information. How are you? How are you? How are you? Bonjour. Oh, yes. Welcome, Ulakayu. Bienvenue, bienvenue, Lakayu, Ulakayu, Uviko. So that's the one thing with that. You know, when you're looking at these things into real perspective, you have to actually say, you know what? Oh, we buy problem, buy problem, buy problem. Oh, wait. You have to actually say, okay, this is my reality, this is my truth, this is my facts, and to getting these things done. So now we can't just say, oh, I want a car, my friend have a car, oh, you know what, I'm gonna change my whole dining room set because my friend has that, or I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. No, you're gonna get hurt out of this deal. You're gonna get hurt. You don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. So that's the time where you got to sit back and look back and say, you know what, this is what my income is called for, and this is what I'm able to do, and I'm okay with that. And you need to be content with things like that because if not, you're gonna fall short and you're gonna hurt yourself. So that's the one thing. So the other thing is understanding the imaginary. Imaginary, there's nothing wrong with imaginary because it's fine to think of where you want to be. There is nothing wrong with that. Just say, you know what, I am here, but in reality, I need to be there. And the only way I'm going to get there is by doing this. There's nothing wrong with that. So yes. So that's the one thing with that. Is to deal with those things. It's to say, you know what, this is what's going on. This is the reality of things. This is the just of things. So now I need to. I'm here. I know I'm here, but I need to get there. And the only way I'm going to get there is by doing this and by doing that. So therefore, I need to save to do this. I need to do this and I need to do that, and I need to keep everything afloat. And John Charles, how are you? How are you, brother? Bienvenue la caillou, bienvenue la caillou, bienvenue la caillou. Et où la caillou, John Charles, où la caillou? Où la caillou, famille, ouais. Merci pour venir, merci pour présence. Ça fait un plaisir en pile. So yes, guys, if you guys don't have June Charles, that's somebody that you want to connect with. That's somebody that you want to have. That's somebody you need to have in your bucket of someone again. June Charles m'a dit non, ça son moun nou ta reme gen la ka non, ça son moun nou ta reme zami avel, ça son moun ke nou ta reme pour bon côté non. So la plus bon pour nous si nous fait le pour lui pour nous arrêter en famille avec lui. Ok? Et information, pas un problème, non? Et m'a fait, m'a fait Joanne mettre, ou pas un problème. Pas un problème. Et Joanne, c'est madame Meli, il dans travail, pas un problème, coup live, coup LS là fini, m'a pris le lit, m'a dit le fait pour moi, même encore, m'a monté sur ordinateur, puis m'a fait le bout, ok? Ou pas besoin, worry. Yeah, Joanne Wilson, c'est madame Meli, pas un problème, m'a fait le bout. Ok, famille? Ou pas besoin, worry. What besoin de? Yes. So that's the one thing, family. That's Yes, e fami yo, John Charles nan travay. Son moun vle fel pou li, an bitou lèl fini, la bremet tout. E nou pa pedi sa, parce ke sa, kakoum di nou, si ou ta reme konen ki jan pou navige e YouTube, ou ta reme vreman successful nan YouTube, se ou moun kakou John Charles pou ta genye bon kote ou. Parce lem tout sa, on moun ki pral poton pil informasyon ba ou, ki pral edo nan tout fason, sa vle di, li vaut plus que un grand abonné. Et pas faire pour moun parce que vous voulez abonner. Abonner à un bon tour. Parce que nous, tout le monde besoin d'abonner. Pour la vérité, tout le monde besoin d'abonner. Tout le monde besoin de grandir. Mais l'on fait pour moun, fait pour moun parce que vous vraiment voulez connecter avec moun. Les moun là, une vidéo, gardez vidéo pour lui, ballon petit comment, on a besoin, parce que nous tout avons besoin de ça. Nous tout avons besoin de ça. Okay, guys? So, yes, families, listen, don't just do just the sub for sub thing. You know, you subscribe to someone and you never watch one of their videos, you never deal with them or bother with them. Please, when you do it for someone, definitely be friends with them for all the right reasons. Okay, do it for all the right reasons. So yes, families. As I was saying, definitely So yes, family, yes. So when you do it genuinely. Meaning that show that person true love, and if they drop something, definitely watch it for them. Definitely give them a little comment. So that things could be great. Don't just do it and say and never bother with that person. So yes, guys. So as I was saying and as I was mentioning, that's the one thing with that is to know where you are and where you need to be and where you have to be and deal with that stuff. Guys, give me 1 second. I do have to grab my princess. This is the time that she wants to do the LS with me. So give me one brief second. So yes, family. So I'm back. So that's the one thing, to definitely do it for somebody that, and do it genuinely. So as I was just mentioning, is to know where you are, to exactly know exactly what you want to do. And outside of knowing where you are and what you want to do, is to also say, you know what, this is what I'm imagining into happening, and this is what I want to this is what I want to be done. However, don't imagine something that cannot be achieved. You need to, imagine in a reality sense, in a reality format, that you take this seriously and say, hey, you know what, this is exactly what it is, and this is what's happening. And I imagine an X, Y, and Z time frame. Give yourself a time frame. This is what's gonna get done. This is what will happen. Because when you do that, now you're gonna hold yourself accountable. Once you hold yourself accountable, then your imagination becomes more real. It becomes a little bit more serious. It becomes more it becomes more of a serious thing rather than just an imagination, because some folks will have a goal and ideas and not really knowing exactly what's their time frame that they set for themselves, and this could go on forever. So escape from that and try to not let yourself fall into that situation into, into that same situation of, you over here just having things forever and ever, and not knowing exactly when these things will get done. So avoid from that happening, because that could be a trap. It could be a trap, and it's someplace, it's somewhere you really don't want to be. No one wants to have a goal and have a, something drags on forever and ever, and never gets done, never gets taken care of. So that's the one thing. All right. So, apart from that, family. So here's the other thing: is knowing who has your back, who truly has your back, who truly is by your side. When I said that, I mean, is your family really by your side? Is your friend really truly by your side? Let me explain that to you a little bit. So now your friends know, you plan on doing this, and that's the time where they want to talk about going to a vacation. That's when they wanna tell you about all the all the sales that's going on at the mall, and that's when they want to tell you about everything. It's now, that's something that you yourself have to evaluate, and to saying, okay, is this friend really truly my friend and trying to help me, or are they just, or is this friend just there to, tear me down, you know, rather than just dealing with all these kind of situations, and to saying, okay, if a true friend will say, hey, you know what? Like for an example, they'll be like, "Hey, Jean, you know, I know you really want to do this, but don't forget you made a commitment to yourself, and you made a commitment to yourself, and you need to stick to that. Remember, you told me X, Y, and Z. Remember, you said this, you said that. So for you to stick to that, you can't explore. You can't splurge and do this and that. You can't spend the money that you really need to do that. On the other hand, some other friends will be like, "Oh, you could spend that money. You could do this. You could do that, or you could do this." It's just a whole lot of. It's just not a good situation, not a good fit. So truthfully, it's just not a good fit. And you guys know exactly kind of what I'm talking about with that. Because there's some people, man, oh my God. When you're talking to them, they'll be like, oh yeah, I just got this new shoes, or this new this and this new that. We're going on a vacation, or would you like to come? And I would love if you could come. And you're like, oh no, you know what? I got some things I need to take care of. And they'll still be like, oh no, you could come. You could put that aside. You could do this. You could do that. And meanwhile, they know, you really need to get this thing done. But they'll be like, oh no, you need to. Oh, when you're in school, oh, you about to study? Oh my God, I just finished studying. It was so easy. Oh, you don't understand that? Oh, how could you not understand that? You gotta start thinking. Okay, does this person really have my back or not? So you got to start looking at things like that and start thinking about things like that. So these are different things that you got to look at. Who really has your back? Does your family members really have your back when they say they have your back? As far as, do they really help you out? Do they really do things that they, so that they could help you, or are they just doing things in spite and act like they're trying to help you? So these are things that you really gotta focus on and really gotta understand when it comes to financial literacy. Because the one thing is, spending money is not gonna help you. When it comes to financial literacy, when it comes to understanding personal finance, is you got to understand yourself. Number one, you got to understand your surroundings. You got to take account into your friends. You got to take account into your job. What do you do? Your partner. You got to take all those things into consideration. So, guys, this is the part where we'll be talking about developing good financial habits. So, what does that? Yes, princess. What does that actually mean? What does that actually mean for you? What does it mean to have and develop good financial habits? So here's what it is. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. There's no set in stones fact into this, but this is what it is. It's to say, okay, you know what? I know I really don't need that, so I'm not gonna go and spend my money on something that bringing me no pleasure, and definitely bringing me nothing back, except it's just spending and spending and spending. So those are things that I looked at and say, hey, you know what? If I'm spending my money on this, it's definitely not worth it. So how is this going to benefit me? Or another thing is to self educate yourself. Are you reading? Are you thinking ahead? Are you seeing what's going on? Are you looking into the world? Are you looking at the economy portion into the world? Are you understanding these things? And if you don't, are you making the proper step necessary to understand them? Meaning that are you reading about them? Are you seeing this? Are you understanding them? Are you just sitting back and just saying, hey, it's whatever? So all these things plays into part. All those things plays into part, and to actually looking at and understanding the true situation when it comes to that. So now you got to really dig down and see what's really happening with that. Yes, famille yo fait le marché, fait le marché. So that's the one thing. You gotta really dig down and see the dynamic and see the situation for what it is. Don't just see it with one sided and one eye open and one closed, and you only have half of the view. You need to actually see the full picture and see the full view of things. Don't just see a portion of it. Don't just see, oh, you see my baby's hair. Yes, that's my princess. So don't just do one side and one portion and just let it be, and that's what it is. Then it might not be the absolutely best thing for you. So that's the one thing to look at. Those are the one things that to consider when it comes to that. Don't ever just understand something, just a portion of it, and say, "Hey, I got it." So and that part is the most crucial part, because to understand and practice. Oh yeah, I never. C'est pas vrai. What life I never. C'est pas vrai, June Charles. Guys, listen. June Charles gonna be live later on tonight. June Charles up live Peter. Pas oublier pour nous passer la Kylie. Pas oublier pour nous passer la Kylie comme dit nous. Et c'est nous pour supporter l'autre. We have to support one another, because it's not just gonna happen just by itself. So we have to support one another. So yes, so that's the thing with that. You know, Ah, allergies. I have such bad allergies right now. It's killing me. It keeps making my nose itch. Sorry, guys. Yeah, yeah, guys. I never June Charles up live. So probably pour nous à la Cali, pour nous passer Weli, pour nous passer temps avec lui, pour nous avec lui. On ne pas passer pour 2 secondes, laguer pouce bio, en pour du tal ou tal supporter mon non. Ça va aller ou tal ou tal supporter. Au le contraire, ça c'est comme si c'est on calotte ou bail mon nan. Là, on passe la Cali ou la gon prenne pouce puis ou pas même dire bonjour, pas même dire bonsoir, pas même dire allô, pas même dire reto, pas même dire rien. Et pas ça que les supporter. Supporter ou avec mon nan, ou mwen ou là ou encourager lui, garder même gens ça n'a fait comme ça d'une chose à faire quand ça molly à faire, ou bon et quand ça et African News TV à faire, bah me connaît les souligne là, les même tout le travail. So that's what supporting means, you know. Pas juste aller, oh, puis ou lage moun nan, ou bal pousse là, pour courir ou aller, ou moun nan pas jamais tande encore. And puis ou dit moun nan, oh, yeah, m'de nan live la kay wari. No, you wasn't there. You was not there. Yeah. Lè kon sa ou pat la vraiment vrai, ou pat kay moun nan vrai. Ou mwen, ou te ka passe vraiment vrai, mon pat la kay li. Ou passe devant la ri, mon pat entre la kay li. Yes. So yes, guys. So understanding that having good habits is the most crucial part. That is so tough. That is so tough. That's the most tough. That's the toughest part when it comes to dealing with financials. Is to have a good habit. A good foundation. And just like everything in life, it's not just financial. Everything in life, to you need a good habit. You need a good ground to stand on. You need something to actually make it happen, because other than that, it's not just going to happen just by itself. It's not. You need to actually you need to actually have a good situation and good content, and definitely keep yourself informative, and also keep educating yourself. That's what it's all about. That's exactly what it's about. But a lot of folks. Hi, Virgin Closet. How are you? How are you? How are you, my sister? How are you? Yes, Vern. We just got done to talking about, as far as that. I'm gonna take you to the top of the list. We talked about discussing money into a household, and personal information. I mean personal finance at the schools, and how well. Let me break it down a little bit more. We talk about discussing money into a home, into a household, as far as how important it is for parents to talk about money into the household with their kids, and so that they'll have a sense and understanding when it comes to personal finance, as when they grow up and ready for the world. We talk about how the school system doesn't really talk about personal finance, and so therefore, our kids spend a huge, vast majority of the time into the school system, but on the other hand, don't really get much into financial personal finance, because they really doesn't teach that. And then the other thing that we spoke about was, how is it that, to identify the unreliable source of information, meaning that when you're reading something online, don't take it as it's the full information, because usually it's guided and geared towards, information of giving you some sort of information as far as understanding, and for you to take it to a professional. And once you take it to that professional, then you'll be able to know what they're talking about and understand the language of personal finance and finance. And then we also talked about understanding the danger of free information, meaning that don't try to go online and read about something and trying to do it yourself and thinking that you're going to do a perfect job about it. We talked about, the fifth bullet point was jumping over real and imaginary hurdles into a financial success, meaning that you need to yes, yes, princess, meaning that you need to actually know exactly what's going on when it comes to the reality of personal finance. And also, you need to also imagine, but don't imagine and not give yourself a goal and not knowing exactly what you're trying to accomplish. And then we just talked about know what or who has your back, meaning that is your friends trying to trick you into buying that new car, or buying that new bag, or that new shoe. Hey, yes, yes, yes. Okay, okay, okay. And so we talked about those things. And my sister. Hey, princess. Sorry, guys. I have my princess here with me. I do apologize. So, and then the last point was we was just talking about, dealing with when it comes to having good habits, good financial habits. So that's the one thing I just got done to talking about, and how it's crucial and important it is to have good financial habits, and to also take it for what it is, and also deal with it as for what it exactly is. Yes. So that's the one thing. So guys, if somebody in here doesn't have Vernon's junk closet, that's someone that you want to have in your corner. Hey, that's someone that you want to have in your corner. That's someone that you want to become family with. Don't just become friends with somebody and then that's it. No, it's actually you become family. Vern's a closet. I consider her my family, because she's very supportive of me, and just likewise, I'm very supportive. And she's a great person to have in your corner, and that's someone that you make your. Hey, hey, what's wrong? Okay, okay, you want to talk too? Okay, don't worry, you'll be speaking soon. Okay, all right, all right. So that's somebody that you wanna be family with, you know, and someone that's actually there for you. So yes, guys. And apart from that, that's oh, you're also welcome, Vern. You're also welcome. Yes, you're also welcome. So yes, family, that was the last bullet point. If anybody have any questions, and I'll definitely want to answer them, because there's a few minutes left just to answer a few questions. The one Eh, the one piece I want to say is for sure is to wait. Where's the toy? Where did it go? Where did the toy go? Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. Oops, don't see it. Okay, so the one thing is, folks likes to jump sometimes. The one thing is to try to avoid jumping, meaning that if you're working with a professional, stay working with that professional. Don't jump from one professional to the next and to the next to the next to the next, because it's good to know who you are working with. It's good to know the person that you are working with is someone that you that actually has your back. So that's the one thing with that. And is there any questions that you guys may have for me? Because as you guys know, I come on for an hour duration of time. Tuesdays and Thursdays is the time that I come on for an hour. Oh, give me 1 second, guys. Just grabbing a toy real quick. Yes. So yes, Tuesdays and Thursdays is the time that I actually come on and actually so I could definitely stream. And if you guys have any questions, I definitely want to answer it. If not, that's perfectly fine. You could always comment down below for me, and definitely leave me a comment or shoot me an email. I'm definitely here to answer any questions that you guys may have. If not, guys, I love you guys, and I'll be speaking to you guys next Thursday. And watch out for the videos that I'll be dropping. There is a couple of videos that I'll be dropping for you guys, and I love you guys, and I'll see you guys soon. And I'll see you guys on Thursday from 11 to noon. And and apart from that, I will be dropping videos until then. So therefore, you guys could definitely watch out for them. I would definitely appreciate it if you guys could, share them out to your friends, your family members, or folks that you feel this would benefit, or folks that you don't know who's gonna actually benefit from it. So just share it out. Just share it out. Share it out to everyone, and then we'll take it from there. Okay. So definitely, much love to you guys. I appreciate you guys, and I will be speaking to you guys soon. And watch out for the videos, like I said, and because I will be dropping them. And apart from that, I will speak to you guys. I will see you guys on Thursday from 11 to noon. And if there is anything, definitely yes. If there's anything, shoot me an email or leave me a comment, and I will respond to it. Thank you guys so much, and have a great day, and enjoy the rest of the day.